Gaming Division.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gaming Division. I'm Camera, and today we're going to take a look at World of Goo. The review is going to pertain to both the Wii Marketplace version and the PC/Steam version, because that's where I played both. And I first fell in love with it on the Wii, and then when Steam released it for like $1, I bought it and handed it out to all my friends. You should probably take that as the review right there. The short sell on this one is that you're going to use little goo balls to make structures to try to get them to climb the structures to get to a pipe per level. It's a puzzle physics game, and it does what it does very well. What I love it for this is the varied level design, and I guess the mechanics that go along with it. Because the different types of goo you have, there are different situations that the creators have made into each level, and some of them rarely will give you a time pressure type of situation where you have to do things in a certain amount of time before the goo balls react. Other ones you have as much time as you want, as long as you don't lose enough balls to fail the level. My only hate for this is the targeting system. When there's 15 goo balls all climbing on the same structure and you need the one that's green instead of the other ones, it is very hard to get that one. And yes, you can drag them away one by one and you can whistle, but there's all sorts of problems that come up when you start trying to do that. Sometimes you lose timing because when they're climbing on the structures, that thing wiggles and whatever, and there's some unfortunate things that can happen. But let's move on to the categories.
Aesthetics.
The aesthetics of this are nothing special, but they're not bad by any means. They did really good artwork and production quality for the game, but it's a 2D game, and what's important about it is what they covered. They put in enough distinctive art so that you remember it, especially in like the cutscenes and whatnot. It's that same funny thing you may know from Little Fireplace Inferno, same artistry. But when you're playing the game, everything's notable, memorable, and legible. You can tell what is supposed to be happening with everything. Aesthetics gets an 85.
Control interface.
Whether you're on the Wii or the PC, you're doing this. It's just a matter of whether or not you're moving the mouse or you're pointing the Wii Remote controller. And I honestly thought I would like the Wii Remote better, and I started playing on there. But after playing it on PC, I really enjoy the mouse a lot better. I think you have more control, it gives you a little bit more precision. It's just a more comfortable feeling because your arm doesn't get tired from lifting it for so long. Because this is the type of game you can play for a while. But that said, it is a point and click interface, so we can run to that super easy or terribly hard thing. And there are times where I really wish you could do more, where you could at least click nodes and then place something, connect to those nodes, or use keyboard commands to make it do different behaviors. And you just run out of time trying to click and everything. Even be able to hotkey goo balls would be great. I just think they fell short in a couple places, but ultimately didn't hurt the game per se. Control interface gets an 80.
Environmental controls.
The environment in this game is really basic. You only have a two-dimensional plane, but you're building up. There's gravity at work. The goo balls have weight. Sometimes you're lifting things with balloons, setting things on fire. There are bombs, sticky ones, goo balls that are immune to spikes. Point being is that they behave different ways when you release them or you leave them to their own devices. Because you can build that tower up as high as you want, and it may be stable by itself, but as soon as those goo balls start climbing on there, fortunately they're going to rock it, and it may affect how you're placing things. Especially when you go to place it and the tower moves, connects to the wrong nodes. It feels punishing, especially on the bonus level where you don't have a time limit, but you put a lot of effort into building that structure. Environmental controls gets an 80.
Game mechanics.
Like I've said, there's a lot of different goo balls and mechanics thrown into this, and they have to behave different ways in order to make it interesting. There's gears and spikes that'll pop your goo balls or balloons or whatever you're using unless they're immune, and you've got to work around that. There's water where they bounce and act all crazy. The mechanics in this are really in the level design, and they have different goo balls and things to go with, but it's really how challenging the level is and what the expectations are for there. And I just love it. I think it's a genius way to do a physics puzzle game, and I want more. And there are actually a lot of knockoffs of this out there. And there are a lot of knockoffs of this out there, and I encourage you to play them too, but go play World of Goo first. Mechanics gets a 95. Weirdly enough, there's actually a story involved in all this, because they're sentient goo balls. Go figure. And they're all trying to escape to go to somewhere. That's part of the mystery of the storyline, is where are they trying to go? What have they done? What's happening in their universe? So through cutscenes and through the levels themselves, they actually do a really good job of telling the story. The story itself isn't that strong, and it's a little weird, but it's good, and it definitely helps make the game more entertaining. If you've seen it a couple times, I understand skipping by them, but that first time, give it a watch. What are you going to hurt? Storyline gets an 80. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 84. For my wrap-up review, I gotta say this is a fantastically memorable game. And it is a garage-developed title. And a lot of individual pieces look really average when you break it down. When you look at the game as a whole, it is a compelling, fun game that works your brain and gives you a good time. Like most good games, especially puzzle games, it teaches you on the fly how to play. There's not tutorial menus that keep you in a dungeon until you're done. You learn how it goes and they ease you into it with level difficulty. That's how games should work. And if you don't believe me, go back and play the original Mario Brothers. It's the prime example of it. Or Portal. This is a game you can play over and over. You can play levels over and over, depending upon how you like each level. And the game rewards you for doing better. The more goo balls you save in comparison to the expectations, the more bonus goo balls you get for the bonus level. When you complete the game, there's still another game left. You take all your bonus goo balls and you build a structure, and you try to get them as high as you can, and it becomes an online competitive type thing to see who can get there. And to be honest with you, I've gotten really close, but I've never quite hit it. I'm going to keep trying because, honestly, it's fun. Again, it's really hard to find another game that's so average in all of its individual respects, but comes out to be such a fantastic game. This is literally one I think everyone should have in their collection, and if you are at a loss what to get somebody and they're into games, shoot this one to them across Steam, and I think they'll be happy with it. I think that's it for me. I'm Camerai. Have a nice day. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.